comes to your waiting finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. At Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash is the place. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash the place. You've got an edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the place. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash the place. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trial.
Of course, welcome. This is another edition of Off the Field, your number one sports show on the radio. And of course, we're live here from the DFA Technical Center. As we're going to bring you some live coverage of the opening match of the Presidents Cup. And of course, we have Promex Harlem United up against the Belfast Estate Mao Soccer Strikers. Um, Starting lineups very soon. But good evening, Delvin. Welcome once again off the field.
Good evening to you, Gavin, and good evening, many listeners of DBS Radio. And Gavin, we are definitely on the field.
On the field.
Off the field, but we are on the field tonight. And we are live at the Technical Center in Stock Farm to bring you the first match in terms of the President Cup. And that match will be played between Promex Harlem United and Belfast Soca Mao, which came second, and Promex Harlem, I think, came sixth in the competition. So we're in for a big match tonight, Gavin.
Yeah, in for a big match. Now, just to let the viewers on Facebook know, because we're also live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube as well. You can check out DBS Radio, and I'll give reminders throughout the broadcast that we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube. This is a special off-the-field program. So while the football match will be going on, we'll also be talking about a number of other sporting activities, sporting issues that we have to discuss over the course of the next 2 hours there. So if you're listening on radio, you'll have to bear with us. We will be giving you updates every now and then on the football. But if you're watching on YouTube and on Facebook, then you should have no problem, following what we have to say and then looking at the football as well. So, Delvin, of course, we have to give the usual big ups to the usual listeners every Wednesday night. Of course, I want to say good evening to my good buddy Cyrus in South City, Grand Bay. Also, Rosamond McGlaw, always locked in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Asa Banton as well, always locked in. Clint H. and Kati, C2 Juices, good evening as well. And of course, my good buddy Jules, security guard. And Clyde John Baptist, the number one sports photographer in Dominica. Good evening to you as well.
Yes, Gavin, and You know, I always go out in the odd district, Gavin, because you know our guys that travel. I want to say good evening to guys up in the Woodrup area, the Woodford Hill area, Marigot, and around the islands and so on, in Wesley. I want to say a special good evening to you all and so on. And not forgetting our people in GMIT, my father in GMIT, and also my wife and daughter in GMIT. I want to say a special good evening to you, Adalia. And she's celebrating her birthday very soon this week. And I want to say, I want to wish you all the best in terms of your birthday coming up, my daughter. And as I can tell you that I want to say special good evening to a number of people all around the island and so on, not forgetting Jane in Tibo and not forgetting the guys in Paybush and the rest of the guys in Mao. I want to say a special good evening to Tommy down in Mao. He usually listen and tune in to DBS Radio at that time. And there's so many people. I want to say Brenda in the middle of Rosa. She's always locked in on a Wednesday night. Tune in to DBS Radio to hear what we have to say. And there's so many other people. I want to say a special good evening to all teachers. And as we celebrated Teachers Week last week, I want to say a special good evening to all the teachers in Dominica. And I can tell you, last week, Friday, I think that was one of the biggest Teachers' Day for a very long time. The teachers were very much entertained and they really had a fine time at the St. Gerard's Hall. Really, teachers really come down and really express themselves there. I want to say a special good evening to the teachers in Dominica. And not forgetting the people in the South, and so I want to say a special good evening to the people in the South from Grand Bay area. We know that your team has made it through to the next round, the quarterfinals of the DFA First Division League. So we're going to say a big up to the people in Point Michelle area and not forgetting the Grand Bay area. But what I can tell you tonight, the atmosphere look very good. And as Gavin said earlier on, we'll be touching about a lot more on certain things that are going on in sports because a lot is going on in football, a lot is going on in
Yes.
cricket, and a lot in basketball.
Trust me, a lot is going on. All right, so let's, well, the teams are just stepping onto the field right now as we speak. Promex Harlem United and the Belfast State Mao Soccer Strikers. Soccer Strikers in their traditional blue and white uniforms. Harlem, of course, will be in their grays and black. And, well, this could be a very interesting matchup. Like we said at the start, the Harlem team, they finished in sixth place in the point standings in the last Premier League. And the Belfast State Mao Soccer Strikers, well, they finished in second place. Very strong showing for them, beaten by Dubla in the end.
Yes, yes, Gavin. And Gavin, I don't want to forget tonight before even we move on further. I want to say a special good evening to the Lugie family.
Oh,
As you
yes,
know, they're going
yes.
to be resting Connie Lugie on Friday at the Pentecostal Church and so on. And we want to say a special good evening to the family of the Lugies in Pottersville and Baptist State and so on. You realize among the names that we call Gavin. So Connie Lugie will be raised to a footballer.
Yes.
Yeah,
And softball
a
cricketer as well.
softball cricketer, but a very good footballer, a very good defender for Potters and so
Mhm.
in his heydays. And I want to say condolences to the family again, Gavin.
All right. So this is Off the Field. It's been brought to you through the kind compliments of Big Edge Financial Express. We're going to take our first commercial break this evening, and we will be right back. Keep it locked.
You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank.
All right. Welcome back to the Off the Field program. Like we said, we're on the field tonight, coming to you from the DFA Technical Center as we're getting set for this Presidents Cup match. It's Promex Harlem United up against the Belfast State Mao Soccer Strikers. And Delvin, I think you're just having a little bit of a difficulty there. Let me see if I can just set you up nice and dandy. All right. So, Delvin, as we said, we will be talking about the football and the other sporting activities. Let's start off, of course, with cricket. Okay, I know cricket will probably dominate a lot of the discussion tonight as well, even if we're here at the football match. But we saw something very disappointing. That first test match, West Indies and India.
What do you mean by disappointing?
Disappointing in terms of the margin of defeat. You know, I knew it was always going to be a tough battle for the West Indies to win that game. But I thought that we would have put up a bit more of a challenge.
We played in the Caribbean recently there, Gavin, under that team,
Hmm.
and we lost badly. We bowled for 27. We're going to India with a different team and so on. We almost like the same team. We expect better, and we're going to India, Gavin. We have to be real about things in the Caribbean. And you heard Lara today, and you heard a couple of people and so on were expressing their sentiments about the whole team. Gavin, remember I told you on the program, I'm watching that West Indies team now, and I want to see which team, test team, that the West Indies can score 200 runs against. If they score 200 runs in an innings against any team, I give them a high rating. Just 200, I give them to score in an inning.
Well, there are the likes of Bangladesh. There's the likes of even a Pakistan. Well, not a Pakistan at home, but a Pakistan in the Caribbean. That's a team that they can get 200 against, Delvin.
Gavin, 200 now for West Indies, looking like Monja Blote up in Dominica, I can tell you, because you're watching the batting lineup and you're watching this guy's bat, Gavin. And to me, those guys have no sense of playing Test cricket. Them guys not interested in Test cricket to me. And I think when West Indies was doing well in terms of the team that went to Australia and England, to reshuffle that team together and put those so-called white ball players, I think West Indies was going on that. And you have a Test playing nation like West Indies, and then the captain, his first 5 matches, Gavin, I saw say he's going to get 5 love.
All right. Well, Delvin. So, Delvin, you know, I think maybe we can just take another commercial break, maybe, because we just have a little things that we need to iron out there. So, going back to Master Control, we're going to take another commercial break. We'll be right back.
You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the place. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest.
Sorting out some of the little issues that we were having. Looks like we're back loud and clear. And we're just about set for kickoff here at the DFA Technical Center. It's Promex Harlem United up against the Belfast Estate Mahusuka Strikers. And looking at the starting lineups of both teams, let's start off with the Belfast Estate Mahusuka Strikers, who are in their blue and white uniforms. Dante Challenger will be in goal. There's also Kenny George, Clemson Isaac, the new signing from Middleham United, Nick Anthony, Jamo Talbot, Taquante Woodman, Jan Timothy, who was recently called up to the senior men's national football team training. There's also Addison Dennis. Jan Boston was also called up as well. Francis Luke. And Dylan Augustine and Dionel Abraham will be the captain. So that's the starting lineup for the Maho team. While for the Harlem team, we will have Ryan Charles. We'll also have Karen Lewis, Cassim Peltier, the captain, Dwayne Etienne. Also, Brandel Richards was called up to the senior men's national football team as well. Tyreek John Baptist, Donan Juve, and Chris Lee Curizan. Also, Jahil Daniel, Tyrese John Baptist, and Shaquan Mills. So that's the starting 11 for the Harlem team. Delvin, I think we can make our way upstairs to get a better vantage point, better vantage view of what's going on. As the photographer, Clyde John Baptist, just doing the customary team photos. And just about set to get underway here at the DFA Technical Center. So expecting a very interesting game. Like we said, Harlem finished in 6th place in the point standings. Mao in 2nd place. Mao with a very good season. They had Dubla more or less under some pressure for a few weeks before Dubla pulled away in the back end. But a chance now for a knockout title for both teams. So we will have a kickoff any moment from now at the DFA Technical Center. Delvin, your thoughts on the game? Who do you have as winners this evening?
Well, as a matter of fact, those both teams that have an uphill battle between them. You can never tell where it can go. One time Mahu have the advantage, one time is Harlem. So tonight you can never tell where it can go, Gavin. The most important thing is that the teams have to look for to at least to win the President Cup because one team came second and the other on FIFA is 6 or something of that nature, Gavin. So they have all to play for there tonight, Gavin, and I just hope that both teams can come and play good football because they can be very rusty, Gavin, because it's quite a while they haven't played in terms of a competitive match.
All right, the man in the middle this evening, the experienced Matthew Walsh. We have Gabriel Caesar, who will be the 4th official. There's also Ryan Lantern on one end as an assistant referee. And the other, Don McDonald, the other assistant official as well. So just a few moments away from kickoff. So like we told you all, it's a special edition of Off the Field tonight. We're here at the DFA Technical Center. So if you're following on radio, the focus will be off the field. However, we will make references to the football match every now and then whenever something major happens. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, on the DBS Facebook page or the DFA YouTube page, you'll get to see the actual action here at the DFA Technical Center. So, referee Matthew Walsh just having a look, final inspections. Slight drizzle just coming, but we're off. On the way here at the DFA Technical Center is the Belfast Estate Mao Suka Strikers and Promex Harlem United. And immediately it's Mao with a throw in an attacking position, Delvin.
Yes, a very quick play, trying to find the right side, and Mao trying to exploit that very early against Harlem.
So Mao in possession, and of course we know how important it is to get big starts, early starts, apply the pressure. Was Matthew Walsh seen an infringement? It's going to be a free kick for the Maho team. So an opportunity to get some bodies forward. Set piece chance. And a number of targets already to aim for the Suka strikers. There's only one player behind the ball, or in defense, I should say. So Maho going all out here on the set piece. And the delivery comes in and just goes wide. Was an opportunity there. And it's gone out for a corner kick. Excited is that?
Yes, Gavin, a good save from the goalkeeper, Gavin. He reaches out there and stretches his hand, and it's not the normal, usual goalkeeper for Harlem. I think the second goalkeeper.
So in comes another corner delivery, and up go the heads. And this time it's gone out. All right, so Delvin, it's going to be a goal kick for the Harlem team. But like we said at the start of the broadcast, we were discussing the situation of the West Indies team. And of course, getting set for that second test match on Friday. Not much time between the two defeats, or the two matches, I should say. This one is played back to the Mao goalkeeper, Dante Challenger, and there's a foul. It's going to be a free kick for Harlem, and the look referee might even be heading into his pocket. Might see the first yellow card. First yellow card it is.
Yes, I think a rush of blood tackle there, Gavin. A real rush of blood tackle there. And early in the game, so that player there will have to be very careful.
All right, so Devin, as I was saying, what sort of changes would you possibly want to make in that West Indies team? Second test match, given what you saw in the first match.
Well, Gavin, I'll tell you straight, I will call for some more guys in the Caribbean because it doesn't make sense. And you have a team up there, and they're not going to be competitive at all, Gavin. And they're only there for that to fit. I maybe think that they should maybe thinking of maybe coming back to Caribbean, but you cannot do that. You have to stay and play the test match. But India have no mercy at all. I hear some people talking about India putting a second stream team because West Indies first team that is not a strong team, Gavin. To me, that don't make any sense because we're in the test cycle, so that is our best team.
Yes, that's our best team. I think I have some recommendations that I would probably make, and I think Darren Sam will probably have to be a bit bold and it'll probably be against his initial plans. But here's my 11. Some of the changes that I would make. I would drop Shandapal. Shandapal didn't really look the part at all in that first game, and he hasn't had much cricket under his belt as well. It was already a mistake to have picked him in the first place, but I would drop him. And I would be a bit more radical with my opening pair. And I would open with John Campbell and Brandon King. Brandon King is already the opener for the ODI and also the T20 format. So he's a natural opener. You know, and the way that he's been playing in the test matches, because of the poor starts that we've been getting from the incumbent openers, he's almost essentially batting as an opener, if you understand what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying. It doesn't matter where you put Brendan King, where you put them guys and so on, Gavin. That West Indies team, to me, going to continue struggling against a good team.
Right. So that's my first change, as there's another foul there, and the referee again heading into his pocket. Yellow card issued to Mao. That looks like a very hefty tackle there. Player is still down for Harlem. So David, that's my first change. My second change, okay, Alec Athanaze would remain at number 3. I would promote Shea Hope all the way up to number 4, right? Roston Chase at number 5. And then at number 6, I would have Tevin Imlach. So I would remove the wicket-keeping duties from Shea Hope. I maintain that Shea Hope is our best batter. And to me, there's no reason for Shea Hope to be burdened with the responsibilities of wicket-keeping. And you already have, wicket keepers in the longer format of the game on the team. Tevin Imlach, for example. And then, of course, Justin Graves. Still go with the 2 spinners because you never know what you can expect. And then, Johan Lane or Anderson Phillip and Jaden Seals to round off my 11. But that would be my change.
Well, Gavin, you can think of all changes because I myself not thinking of what changes you're thinking of because I know that the West Indies stand a chance. To me, it doesn't matter who they bring or who they try to bring and so on. The chances against India is very, very poor. And you're talking about the to rotate in the batting lineup. But maybe you'll have to think of maybe sending the fast bowlers and the low order batsmen to open and then leave the better batsmen for them to come late in the order to try to save the team because things are really badly off for West Indies because you're not getting runs from the middle order. They're struggling badly, and those guys don't get confidence now. So I don't know what you think can change in terms of who you open in the batting. West Indies going to struggle to score 200 runs, Gavin, and that's the most important thing.
But that's what I'm saying, the mental aspect of it, because Brandon King has been an opener throughout his career. Yes, Jamaica tried him at number 4. I guess that was probably under the instructions of Darren Sammy because he was probably hoping to bring King into the team as a middle order batsman. But if the guy has been playing as an opener, especially in the shorter formats of the game, and Sammy's point for the test team is to try and play a more aggressive brand of cricket, then to me it's a no-brainer to have Brandon King opening.
Yes, you're quite right, Gavin. I am no problem with Brendan King opening batting, but maybe what the West Indies team will have to do is maybe fool the team with batsmen holding that and maybe one, two guys that can bowl because really the problem is the West Indies team is that if a team score 70 or the bowlers bowl out a team for 70, West Indies only going to play with 30 or less. It's a very tough situation. So if the team score 10, West Indies scoring 5, it's very, very difficult for the West Indies team, Gavin.
So you're not holding high hopes for Friday?
I expect the game to finish early Sunday morning, Gavin. But if India bat first and score 400, the game can finish quite easily because West Indies really the batting openers will try something. And Gavin, I want to say that I don't want to say that too loud and so on. But for the time they change that sitting that openers thing, I don't know, boy. I think we'll have to go back to the openers and we'll get some centuries or some runs, Gavin, because I think that openers causing a lot of problems. We're not getting runs, Gavin, if that's him. So maybe he'll have to get back to his normal.
All right, but before we continue on Athens, we have some good news for him with some call-ups for West Indies cricket. But we'll get back to that in a bit. But Delvin, recent comments, and there have been some very interesting comments floating across the media in recent days. One, for example, the comments from Miles Bascom relating to the issue of the central contracts or retainer contracts for the West Indies team. Get back to that in a bit because Harlem is on a little bit of an attack there, knocking the ball nicely, looking for some options. And that's gone out. So actually, now it's going to be a throw-in for the Maho team. Sticking quickly with Clemson, Isaac. Was looking to spot the run on the far side, but it's gone out again. Devin, your thoughts on the comments from Miles Bascom?
Well, Gavin, I always keep telling you that, and I will continue saying that, is that West Indies have a bunch of people in administration and so on, and I will use that type of term, and I always going to use that term, and I keep telling you that. So it's a group of guys and so on that have taken over West Indies cricket and so and a matter of fact, West Indies now looking like they're in debts. Not only their cricket bad, but if the board looking like they're in debts now, Gavin.
Yes, there's some financial issues with the board. It does well there, the defender in the end. So Mao should come away with that one. But we heard last week the board made it clear that things are not looking bright for 2025, 2026. With it not being a World Cup year and with the big three not expected to be part of the tours that should be offside, it is. So essentially, Cricket West Indies are basically saying that they will be operating at a loss for 2026.
Gavin, that board, a group of mercenaries, I call them. I keep saying that, and I just feel that that's the way I feel about that group. I just feel they take over West Indies cricket to kill West Indies cricket. And in the days of Nanton and Cameron, things wasn't 100%, but the things was much better in those days there. No, Gavin, from $18 million, West Indies now struggling. They cannot have two teams playing. They have to drop out two teams. They're struggling to maintain certain things and so on. And then they come in and say, but they retain a contract, and they did not give Imlaj a contract, and Imlaj is in the team. Gavin, it just shows that things are just not going well.
Yeah, things are not going well. But to be fair, Delvin, I don't think the financial situation is any fault of West Indies cricket. It has to do with the fact that the finances of cricket are dominated by three countries. That's India, England, and Australia. And basically, if you don't play them, and especially if they don't come to your home, you operate at a loss. And like the CEO Chris Darren was saying, is like the West Indies have to honor their commitments in terms of the future tour programs, and they have to ensure that they host the Sri Lankas and the Pakistans and the Bangladeshis and the New Zealands. But what they're saying is that when they do host those tours, because of the small TV rights, the money associated with it is not profitable at all.
Not at all, Gavin. As you see, Mao making a read the danger there for Harlem, and Mao, and he tried to kick and it blocked there in the end.
Might have struck a Kasim Bell. That's another rash tackle again from Mao, and again the referee is heading into his pocket. So that's going to be the third yellow card for Mao this evening, and another player is down for Harlem. Rash tackle there.
I don't know if you're talking about a rash tackle, but to me, there's no tackle at all. Gavin is very fortunate to be in the field of play.
So you're saying he should have been sent off?
That's a launch tackle. He's going to get a yellow card, and so on. The referee going to call him to give him a yellow card, but that was a launch tackle, Gavin.
So the referee is slowly making his way and about to have a word with the player.
That's number 12. We can tell the score is still 0-0.
So that's Jan Boston who's getting shown the yellow card for the Maho team. Second yellow card of the evening.
Second, the third.
Sorry, well, third, yes. Third yellow card of the evening. And Mao will have to be very careful now because they've been a bit aggressive, one would say, in terms of their challenges. Reckless, probably the better word.
Very reckless. And not only that, Gavin, but we can tell if the game draw tonight that there'll be extra time and also penalty kicks. So.
All right, so back on the way in terms of plays, 0-0 at the DFA Technical Center. And again, just a quick reminder, this is a special edition of Off the Field. We're at the Technical Center, so if you're listening on the radio, every now and then we will make a reference to the game, but we will try our best to also discuss a number of sporting activities. But if you're watching on YouTube and on the DBS Facebook page as well, you can also follow the football and get to see what's going on at the DFA Technical Center. So Delvin, as we were saying before the break, it's a very tough financial situation for the West Indies team. And we heard the announcements of some severe financial, what's the word I'm looking for? Restrictions. So changes for the regional format, the regional tournament, the West Indies Academy and the CCC will not be part of it for the upcoming season. And then there are also reductions in the youth tournaments as well, the under 17 and whatnot. So a lot of changes as Cricket West Indies tries to adapt. So shot on goal there that won't trouble Dante Challenger for the Maho team. It's gone out for a goal kick.
And he should have maybe just guide that ball across the goal instead of maybe attempting a shot there. But Gavin, if you realize, and so there's a lot going on in West Indies cricket, and I think there's more to it. And you have four guys running West Indies cricket, and not only that, Gavin, we have certain people part of boards of the West Indies, and they cannot say nothing. Those directors, they just there and things happening, Gavin, and we're not hearing them, and none of them resigning. Nobody calling it a day.
Well, you've always been one advocating for resignations. Hasn't happened yet, but
It will not happen like that, Gavin. Those guys. I think those guys maybe think that they what they call a serious situation, having a very good time at the expense of West Indies cricket, and it's very hurting to see Gavin because when you have to watch a cricket match from 12 o'clock, and you heard it from Olin, he said he doesn't watch cricket
yes, yes.
because he's thinking of West Indies dominance and he's thinking that why you have to watch cricket again.
All right, let's move on quickly. Good news for Alec Athanaze. Alec Athanaze has been selected to the West Indies ODI and T20 teams for the next series against Bangladesh. That starts on the 18th of October. So right after the test series, Alec and some of the other players will be off to Bangladesh. And it's a good recall for Alec Athanaze, who made his debut in ODI cricket in 2023 against the United Arab Emirates. Started off with a bang, a record performance, got the fastest half century on debut by a West Indian, but didn't quite live up to the expectations after that in terms of ODI cricket. Played some 13 matches and averaged just 25 with two half centuries. So it's a chance there for Clemson. Pulled back, nothing doing, says the referee. Was an attacking play there for Maho, but that has broken down. But Delvin, good to see Alec Athanaze back on the West Indies ODI team and now playing in all three formats.
Well, yes, Gavin is very good. Well, he should, first of all, he should have never been dropped at all on no cable format because West Indies haven't got much cricketers at all for them to drop Avanas. So it was very much, but everybody's saying that they should give him opportunity.
All right, so just looking at the team, Delvin, the ODI team which was called up for Bangladesh. Shea Hope, of course, the captain. There's a player from Maho down, so hopefully Maho should put the ball out of play so that the player can get some attention. So there's going to be a break there as the ball has been put out for the player can get some attention. All right, so the ODI team, Delvin, Shea Hope as the captain, Alec Athanaze, there's a debut for Akim Ogis. There's also Jediah Blades, Casey Carty, Ruston Chase, Justin Graves, Amir Django, Shamal Joseph, Brandon King, Gudakesh Moti, Kari Pierre, Shifrin Rutherford, Jaden Seals, and Romario Shepard. Looks like a pretty decent ODI team, Delvin, for Bangladesh.
Gavin, I just only smiling, when I hear you calling the teams there because you're very passionate about West Indies cricket. We have been calling those names for the longest while. West Indies, it's very tough for West Indies in ODI cricket and Test cricket. The chances might be a little bit 2020, but in the future, it's going to be very difficult for West Indies. And West Indies is going to be struggling the whole free format. They are struggling. The question I want to ask you, Gavin, will Darrell Sammy last the year as West Indies coach?
I believe you last year as a coach. I mean, when he took up the appointment, I did say, especially when he got the all three formats, I said, don't be surprised if he started off losing all 8 test matches. Because our first 8 test matches will be Australia, India, and then New Zealand. And they're all at home, meaning all in foreign conditions. And you know our records away from home is nothing to shout about. So I always knew that the test matches would be difficult for him. In terms of ODI and T20 cricket, that's where he has brought some change to the fortunes. And I'm expecting the West Indies to beat Bangladesh and also in the T20 series to follow as well.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, Gavin, as the ball is into touch and goes on the outside. But you have a lot of high hope. But right now, I have hopes that I don't think West Indies meeting no test playing nation, no, Gavin. That just show you how bad the state of West Indies cricket. I'm not seeing West Indies meeting nobody in test, one day, or either T20. Things are extremely bad in West Indies cricket.
Well, all I can say is we just have to keep on hoping, Delvin. You never know when things can change as we're getting a strong drizzle.
Well, we're hoping it can change.
There's a strong drizzle coming across the stock farm facility, the DFA Technical Center. So we're battling the elements now. You can see the umbrellas going up. Quick look at the T20 team for the Bangladesh series, Delvin. We have Shea Hope as the captain. Again, Alec Athanaze on the squad. Akim Ogis, Ruston Chase, Jason Holder, Akil Hussain, Amir Django, Shamal Joseph, Brandon King, Gudakesh Moti, Rovman Powell, Shufin Rutherford, Jaden Seals, Romario Shepard, and Raymond Simmons as the team for the T20 matches. and
In Bangladesh.
in Bangladesh. So, and again, to me, another a decent team, and I'm backing West Indies to do well in that series. Yes, we had the disappointment against Nepal, but that's a much stronger team. This player is fouled there, brought down the free kick for Maho.
As you said, a much stronger team, Gavin. Not stronger. Gavin was says not a strong team against nobody. No. Yeah, everybody seems to be taking advantage beating Western, and they love playing against the win this team.
All right, so I think that can settle it on cricket for now. Maybe we'll come back to cricket in a little bit. But just to give a sense of the listeners on radio as to what's going on with the football match. Belfast Estate Mao Suka Strikers and Promex Harlem is still 0-0.
0-0, yes.
But it's been a very aggressive start from the Maho team. They've had one or two chances, but they've also been very reckless with their challenges, conceding a number of fouls, and already 3 players have been booked. So they're walking the tightrope as we're heading into, the second half very soon. Still here in the first half, as both teams in search of a victory. It's a knockout tournament. The winner will face Valvoline Reunited in the quarterfinals. And as we're on the football, Delvin, they're into the final 8 for the Division 1 League. Quarterfinals expected to start tomorrow, but that will be weather permitting, of course. You're going to have have an eye on the weather. We're expecting to be impacted by some of the some of the rain bands from Tropical Storm Jerry. Expected tomorrow evening. So I wouldn't be surprised if a decision might be taken to call off the football games. But again, that will be, based on the instructions from or advice from the Met Office. And of course, both teams and the fans as well will just have to have a quick or just follow the proceedings. Free kick coming in from Mao. Goalkeeper comes punching out. And there's last of a defender. It will be a corner kick for the Maho team.
It wasn't a bad free kick at all. He
Not
really
at all.
killed that ball, and the defender not taking no type of chances in terms of his goalkeeper, then headed their way into touch for corner kick.
Yes, so the delivery has been spot on most times for the Maho team. Here comes another one. Again, it's gone in. Did it go in straight up the corner kick, or was it touched by one of the attacking players? We'll have to verify. But there's also a player down inside of the goal as well.
Straight in, Gavin. Long I haven't seen a corner kick. They're curling around there and going straight in. And in the days before, we expecting that to happen, but this time that will curl into the far side. And I think it's Jan Timothy, Gavin, curling that one, then finally back on the nets.
Well, we will verify the scorer with the 4th official. But the news from the DFA Technical Center, it's the Belfast Estate Maho Suka Strikers won. And the Maho or the Promex Harlem team 0.
And Gavin's really conditioned. They're very tough at the technical center. And we spoke to the president recently, and he was talking about the project. Then you can see the people there, the umbrellas, Gavin, tonight. They're really under difficult conditions. They showed up there, and they're supporting the team under real difficult conditions. So we're just hoping it will improve one day.
Yeah, because the heavens are really opening now at the technical center. It's really starting to pour. And we can see some of the spectators scampering for covers. Bao again is on another drive. It's Isaac this time. And Isaac kicks it wide, but the flag has gone up on the far side. He's offside. But
the ball should have been given earlier, Gavin.
Yes, ball should have been given earlier, but Isaac still had to do a lot better with his finish. Let the referee decide, whether or not you're onside or not. But Mao really starting to put their foot on the gas, and this time it's given away again. Mao driving forward, looking to find Isaac, and a bit of ping pong there in the penalty area. And Harlem will come away with it this time. Save Brandel Richards. And Richards was trying to get past Boston, but couldn't. And here comes Mao again. It's Isaac. Isaac skips past one defender. Goes past the other, takes a shot. But the goalkeeper is firmly behind that one. So Delvin, it's 1-0 to the Maho Suka Strikers. As the rain continues to beat down here. And before, we had to break to give some of the excitement going on the field. We were talking about the Division 1 League, Delvin, that's into the quarterfinal stage. So we have Mao again on another attack. This one takes a shot. Oh, goes across the face of goal there. It will be a goal kick.
And Mao looking very aggressive, Gavin, and really attacking. And Harlem will have to be very careful, not conceding another goal before the first half.
They have to be extremely careful. I can guarantee you that. But 8 teams into the quarterfinals, Delvin. We have the RC Doctors. We have St. Joseph. We have Kalibishi FC, South City, Do It Center, Mighty Avengers.
Baffert State
State
FC.
FC. There's also,
Kalibishi Diaspora.
Kalibishi as well. St. Joseph, I also said, South City as well.
So that is the 8, Gavin.
Yeah, I think I might be missing one off the top of my head. Ooh, that's another tackle, heavy one. The referee this time is calling play back. And is he going to his pocket again? Another reckless challenge from the Maho team, and the referee's having a stern word with him. I think maybe, just maybe, he might have just slipped.
And he already gotten a yellow card, Gavin, so you have to be very careful.
Have to be extremely careful.
So the 8 teams, Gavin, you talk about the 8 teams, and you talk about St. Joseph, Baffert State, and all about St. Joseph, Baffert State, you're talking about Jude Mighty Avengers, that is free, Kalibishi Diaspora.
Oh, Fonkole. I'm missing Fonkole and Northside. Right.
Gavin, so these are the 8 teams.
Right. So, Devin, 8 teams, and basically everyone's fighting for one spot to get an automatic spot into the Premier League for next season.
Well, a matter of fact, they're having 2 bites at the cherry, Gavin, because you realize that they have to play. Somebody will have the opportunity to play.
Yeah, the runners up, yes, but at least the 8 teams, the main goal is to secure that first bite at the cherry.
Oh yes.
And we have the Baffert State team who've been undefeated so far this season, relegated last season, but they've found their way back into position to qualify for the Premier League. We also have Mighty Avengers who've looked quite good, St. Joseph FC, who were finalists last year as well, and South City, a surprise team, doing quite well, and the RC Doctors, Delvin. So it's really going to be a challenge to see which of these 8 teams will come through for the automatic spot. A chance for Mahu there. Just the ball is played a bit behind him, and then a bit overhit there. But again, it's chance Mahu pushing forward. A good time, good touch, I should say, from Kasim Pelti. Broke up that attack. And Mao now chasing this game, but it's still the Harlem team chasing this game, but it's still the Mao team who look more threatening. I think they'll probably get a second goal, Delvin.
Yes, and you can see an opportunity.
Well,
cleared away on the line by Harlem, and Harlem under tremendous pressure, Gavin.
Well, it was Clemson Isaac and the goalkeeper almost on a sort of one-on-one. Did well to get past the goalkeeper in the end, but then the angle was always against him to try and squeeze it into the back of the net. But it's still a free kick not free kick, but a throw-in for the Mao team in an advanced position.
Gavin, quite a reasonable crowd have showed up tonight. The fans, they love their football in Dominica, and they have showed up in large number.
Who struck it, or was attempted to strike it on the volley there, but the idea was good, the execution wasn't. And it's going to be a goal kick for Harlem. You can hear the Harlem coach just trying to encourage his players, letting them know that they're only 1 goal down. But Harlem looks very flat, Delvin. They're not looking their normal selves. This is going to be a goal kick back on the way here. Remember, in case you're just joining us, this is a special off the field. Yes, we're live at the Presidents Cup, but we're also going to be touching on a number of other issues. And you can follow the game on the DBS Radio Facebook page and YouTube page as Clemson Isaac is pushing forward. Isaac! And Isaac goes just wide. That was for Mao to go 2-0 up. And just put it wide.
Gavin, and as a national player that was called up on training, Gavin,
Yes, Isaac was called up for training.
that will not give his chances because he had an opportunity, a golden opportunity. And when you get this opportunity, you have to put this balls away at the back of the net. And he missed one-on-one.
Well, I think what's happening, Delvin, is that maybe some signs of the rust starting to show in terms of the fact that there hasn't been much football at the Premier League level for a while. The Premier League, matter of fact, stopped since in August. So, and you know how it is sometimes that some of the players are not really actively involved in training. So, what we've seen happening is that a little bit of rust maybe that's showing. But Clemson Isaac on a normal day, would have put that at the back of the net. Remember, he's one of the leading scorers in the Premier League. And was doing quite well for the Midland United team before he made that sort of a shocking move to the Mao team. As there we go again, is another chance, and this could be a bit of a problem. Isaac and the goalkeeper, the defenders played it out. The goalkeeper made a quick rush and is able to put it out for a throw-in. But again, another throw-in for Mao in an advanced position.
And Mao already launching the attacks after attacks and had him defending stuntly there, but they're down 1-0.
So down 1-0. Like we said, the Division 1 quarterfinals set to get underway tomorrow. Of course, that will be weather permitting. And Presidents Cup will also continue this weekend. Some big matches as well. We have, for example, not Maho, but the Jubla, the defending champions in the knockout. They'll be up against DSFC. That game will be at the Almond Park. And then there are also some other games at the Technical Center. Appeals for handball, but not given by the official Matthew Walsh. And again, another wave of attack for the Maho team, Delvin. Another chance. Maho trying to defend. And it's gone. Actually conceded a free kick. So it's going to be another free kick for Maho, again in a inviting position as they look to try to get some bodies forward again. A number of targets in the penalty area, Delvin.
Yes, and they're looking to find goal number 2.
Another good delivery, but Mao will win the second ball. Harlem got to the first ball. Another one. This time takes a deflection. Kasim Pelte deals with it for Harlem. Long clearance. And this could be a trouble now. Harlem looking to catch him on the counter attack. And Nick Anthony in the well. Was it Nick? No, it doesn't look like it's Nick. But in the end, a good defending. But it will be a corner kick for Harlem.
Yes, a corner kick for Harlem. And a matter of fact, that player there getting a breakaway there for Harlem, and he could have easily at least take a shot, Gavin, but he decided to try to take on Nick Anthony. But in the end, the defender there covering up very nicely, and a corner kick for Harlem.
So just to let you know that this game being brought to you for the kind compliments of Big Edge Financial Express. We will take a commercial break after the corner kick as up go the heads. And infringement, there's going to be a free kick for the Maho team. So going back to Master Control, quick word from our sponsors. We'll be right back off the field, being brought to you for the kind compliments of Big Edge Financial Express.
You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances, you've got the edge. Help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank.
We're killing two birds with one stone. That's the best way to put it off the field. Focusing on the Presidents Cup matches, Harlem and Maho, Belfast said Maho Soccer Strikers. You can catch that game live on our Facebook page and YouTube page as well. And if you're following on radio, where we will give you some commentary of the game every now and then, and also talk about some of the other sporting issues in Dominica and by extension the Caribbean internationally as well.
Gavin, we don't want to say issues, sporting issues, but we just talk about other sporting activities and so on.
Activities.
If there's issues, we'll talk about it.
All right, then we saw the secondary schools football competition getting underway this week. Castlebrooke Secondary School defending champions picking up 2 wins, one in the under 15 division where they're defending champions, and of course a win as well in the under 20, walking over the grammar school.
And Gavin, I heard the other interview and I hear some spectators and supporters saying that you like to talk to the coach of the Castlebrooke Secondary School because he seems to be giving you very good interviews, Gavin. And Joel Hamilton maybe wasn't pleased because Stanton beat him and they're part of the Football Association.
Well, it is with Stanton, Castlebrooke Grammar School, the rivalry there between the two teams. Of course, Grammar School went down. And it was a good performance from the Castlebrooke team, especially in the under 20 match, with Alison Gasper getting that hat trick. And what a hat trick it was, and what a time to get the hat trick, celebrating his call up to the senior men's national football team. Gasper, among some of the players, some of the new players, new faces called up. Delvin, Dominica getting set for the CONCACAF series. This is a new tournament. We heard the president, Glenn Etienne, shedding some light on that a few weeks ago. But it's all confirmed now. Dominica taking part in that competition, being grouped with the
two French,
the two St. Martins. That's French St. Martin, Dutch St. Martin, St. Kitts, and Belize. And the national team held their first training session on Monday. I was there. We got a chance to do some interviews.
Gavin, is that a big competition, or what is that a big competition? Is that any beneficial and so on?
Well, it's always beneficial once you have international matches, especially in the CONCACAF, where football can be a bit hard to come by. Where most times you only have the Nations League and possibly your World Cup qualifiers. They're not much friendlies, and especially for Dominica, opportunity to get some matches in, to help with our rankings. Important the rankings can be, and whatnot. So you would want to get as much football exposure as possible. Now it's a CONCACAF Series League where it's for the teams that are not in the World Cup qualifiers, and it being the World Cup next year. It's a chance there for Mahu, but that attack goalkeeper came quickly to collect. With looks like we might have Harlem on a counter. No good defensive work in the end there. But even as I was saying, with the World Cup qualifiers and the World Cup next year, you have teams like Dominica, Belize, some of the teams that are not in the actual World Cup would not have too much football action this year. So I think it's a good move from CONCACAF to get some of the teams involved in some football.
Well, it's always a good move. They play football, but the teams and so on. What is beneficial? I think the teams need to play against stronger opponents for them to learn proper football, Gavin. You can't be playing against guys that weak and you're not going to improve, Gavin. It don't make no sense.
Well, I wouldn't say they're weak. I mean, Belize would be one of the stronger teams in CONCACAF in the region. There are also some other teams in the other groups. I don't have the information with me, off the top of my head, but it's still an opportunity, to play against some higher ranked opposition.
Gavin, I hope it will depend on an opportunity there for Mao. Mao launching attack, trying to play the ball across, but the goalkeeper coming out.
But that was a lovely use of the outside of the boot there
Yes,
from
Gavin.
the winger and had the goalkeeper scrambling just a little bit. Luckily got a touch, but now it's Harlem looking to break the other way. And had that pass been a little bit better, it looks like we have a handball. So it's going to be a free kick for Harlem. Could be well, that looks like a distance maybe that they could try a shot on goal. But handball is the call from official Matthew Walsh.
Yeah, and it was a good counter attack by Harlem attacking it for about 4 players, and it's a good piece of defending there by the Mao player because he was the sole defender there, Gavin, and in the end defended quite nicely. But Gavin, as you said, there's a special off the field program. And I know there's a lot of people who are very sorry that you cannot make calls tonight. And so
Yes.
I know that usually that they tune into the telephone and want to make a call, but you'll get the opportunity next week, Gavin, the general public to call in.
Next week, God willing. Always have to make sure we say God willing.
Oh, yes, Gavin.
Free kick opportunity. Kasim Peltier steps up, and Kasim Peltier sent this one sailing over the crossbar and even out of the facility as well. So, firmly he had to strike it to clear the tall fence on the perimeter of the DFA Technical Center. Not the best of efforts from Kasim Peltier.
Not at all. And Kasim is one of the guys that have been scoring some great free kicks, Gavin, recently. But this time around, so it was a very poor effort by Kasim Peltier. But Gavin, as you were talking about that type of tournament, I don't know how it's going to help the guys and so on in terms of St. Martin, the Dutch and French St. Martin and St. Kitts. Maybe St. Kitts, yeah, a little because one of the Leeward Islands and so on. But to me, I think they need to play against stronger opponents, Gavin. You're going to play football against stronger opponents, you will improve. So it's time for FIFA to look at letting the smaller nations, especially knockout and so on, play against one of the stronger teams and so on. Even those teams that did not qualify for the World Cup, but
Yes.
they are top up there, so they can play against those teams and so on. So those teams can get exposure and players can get better.
Well, I think that's the purpose of this tournament. And let me see if I can just quickly pull up the tournament information, because it's going to be played like a block sort of situation where the teams will be in one venue. So, for example, the Dominica group, or the teams that have been grouped with Dominica, will all be in St. Kitts come November. Tournament gets underway in November. Okay, so see if I can just get that information. There's literally at my fingertips, Delphine. It'll just take a few seconds to pull up. But from the looks of it, it's all right. So, like we said, we have 4 groups. So, Group A, Martinique, Dominican Republic, Cuba, St. Vincent, and St. Lucia. That's Group A. Group B, St. Kitts and Nevis, Belize, Dominica, French St. Martin, Dutch St. Martin. Group C, we have Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Bonaire, and Aruba. And in Group D, the Cayman Islands, Bahamas, Anguilla, and the British Virgin Islands. That looks like an easy group there. The Group D, Cayman Islands, Bahamas, Anguilla, and British Virgin Islands. But you can see the more competitive groups.
The only competitive group there really is St. Vincent, and the rest of the group is St. Lucia and those other
and
Cuba.
Martinique and Dominican Republic.
Yeah, that's the most competitive group. But the other groups and so on, Gavin, is really friendly nations and so on. Football, anybody can win that match at that. Nobody have the upper hand in terms of that competition. So it really let the teams improve, Gavin, because they're going to continue playing against each other at that level, and they will not improve at all, Gavin, because you're playing against teams that are extremely just around your level. It's time for now that they need to play against stronger teams so that they can improve.
Well, what do you think, though? I mean, even if it's probably might not be the strongest of teams, but Dominica in that group, what would you mark success? What would be your criteria for Dominica to have success?
I know that, to me, that's supposed to be a zone that, and I think that Dominica should be able to do well, because the teams and so on, the type of football Dominica playing and this team playing is almost similar type of football. So I really see Dominica go to make it difficult. It's Dutch and French St. Martin, then they go St. Kitts and maybe Belize. They name Belize, but one come for the football field and so these teams are not they're not far apart from each other. So really no big improvement at all, Gavin. So I don't know, as you know that You must represent the country. You have to send a team. But it's time and soon that we have to review the team. But as you know, the Football Association is being funded by FIFA. So the thing is that they're able to send the team quite easily, Gavin. But otherwise and so on, they need to play more competitive football against stronger teams.
In terms of the team,
And
we
before I go further, Gavin,
mhm,
with that, you saw it in Windsor Park when Dominica was playing against Jamaica. You
yes,
saw the kind of intensity, how guys improve, how guys was looking different, and how guys wanted to play because they're
because
playing
there's a
against
higher
a
ranked
ranked
opposition. Yeah,
champion.
but the same can be said when the team came up against, let's say, Dominican Republic, higher ranked, or even Guatemala, higher ranked. So that doesn't necessarily. Ooh, that's a strong coming together there. Clemson, Isaac, and the referees blew it against him. It's going to be a free kick for Mao, but strong use of the body there from Isaac.
Yes, and Isaac using his shoulder there and brushing the guy away, but the referee was right there, Gavin.
So there'll be a free kick for Kasim Pelty. Trying to loft that ball down forward. Remember, Holland is still trailing 1-0, so haven't been able to confirm the goal scorer yet. We'll do so at halftime for the Mao team, but we can let you know that Mao got that first goal off a corner kick, and it's still being, well, we still haven't been able to verify whether it went straight in off the corner or whether one of the attackers might have gotten a head onto it. So we'll just confirm that at halftime. But more or less, it's been one-way traffic. It's been a half dominated by the Mao team, and quite honestly, it should be more than 1-0 up, Delvin.
You're quite right about that, Gavin, and they can pay the price because all Harlem have to do is score a goal and tie the game and beat it to extra time.
All right, so that's the whistle. 45 minutes in the bag. Is the Belfast Estate Mao Suka Strikers 1, Promex Harlem United 0. We're going to take a short break, short commercial break. Of course, this game being brought to you through the kind compliments of, or I should say, off the field being brought to you for the kind compliments of Big Edge Financial Express. We're going to take a little break, Delvin, and we'll be right back with the broadcast.
You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank. got the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. This when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the place. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. This when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the place. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. This when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the place. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. This when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the place. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. This when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the place. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. This when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the place. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. This when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the place. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. This when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the place. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trial to face. And this when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. And big edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trial to face. And this when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trial to face. And this when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trial to face. And this when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trial to face. And this when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank.
Yo.
You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trial to face. And this when it comes.
All right, so welcome back to the Off the Field program. Like we said, a special program off the field, but on the field, we're here at the DFA Technical Center. It's all about the Presidents Cup. It's a 1-0 advantage to the Belfast State Mausuka Strikers. Before we get back to the game, because it's still halftime, and before we get back to the discussion, we've got with us a special person, very special person, because I always big him up at the start of the program. Always big him up at the start of the program, and that's Clyde John Baptist. And Clyde John Baptist is the son of Clyde John Baptist, and I always refer to him as the #1 sports photographer in Dominica. I see myself as maybe #2 or #3, but Clyde clearly is #1. Clyde, welcome, of course, to the Off the Field program. It's a good chance to just get a quick word with you. Good night, Clyde.
Good night, good night, good night.
All right, so Clyde, let's talk about this whole sports photography thing. How did you sort of get into this?
Well, basically, I've always had a passion for photography on a whole. I used to play sports when I was growing up, but I wasn't too hot on the sports. And I was like, wait, okay, I like sports and I like photography. So I'm like, what way can I put the two together? And then I'm like, okay, well, I'll just become a sports photographer.
All right, and since then you've made a lot of progress. You even have your own company as well. What's the name of your company?
It's called CKJB Photography. So it's my initials, Clyde K. John Baptist Photography.
All right, and you've done a lot of work, not just locally but regionally as well. You've been representing Dominica, you would say, as a photographer, with CONCACAF and all of those big games. So just tell me about these hookups that you've been having.
Well, yeah, I've been traveling around the Caribbean region doing international football matches, taking photos, and well, on behalf of CONCACAF. And I think it's a great honor to be trusted with that responsibility to go out there and capture these games of like teams like Costa Rica, Suriname, teams who are ranked high up in the FIFA rankings.
Clyde, in terms of your profession, I mean, a lot of people might think it's an easy job. Just come, you take a camera, you point, you shoot. But there's a lot of finesse, a lot of technical work behind it. Just give me a little, bit as to how difficult sometimes your job can be.
Well, the main thing is knowing the spot that you shoot. So, for example, like sports photography is a lot of anticipation. So, for example, during a football match, I have to anticipate where the athletes are going to show up. Then it's about framing the athletes. Then that is half of the job basically done. When you take the photo, you also have to make sure your settings are correct. And then when you go home, you have to edit the image, make sure it looks good. Sometimes, like the lights may not be too hot sometimes in different areas. So you may have to do a lot of extra work to make the photos look a bit better. And so any photographers who are listening in sometimes, well, majority of the time, the photos are at least 4 stops underexposed at night.
Yes, I mean, because you might spend an hour or two at the game, but then you might spend 3 or 4 or 5 hours editing those pictures. And you've done some, real amazing work, I must say so, especially the DFA page. I can let everyone know that 95% of the pictures on the DFA page, especially as it relates to the Premier League, are from Clyde John Baptist. You can also go on the Cricket Association's page when we had the Dream 11 Nature ILT10 tournament. He was one of the main guys behind that whole project and everything. Sports division as well does a lot of work. DOC as well. So if you're interested in getting top quality pictures for your sporting events, you can check Clyde John Baptist. And if Clyde is busy, then maybe you can check me. But check Clyde John Baptist first. He's number one. Like I say, I'm maybe number 2 or number 3. But Clyde, in terms of the equipment that you would have, just let the listeners and viewers know, of course, it's not cheap. It's not a $200 camera. It's more a couple $1,000. So in terms of the equipment that you need, if you want to seriously get into this, maybe you can just let the listeners know, what it takes.
Well, I mean, photography is not something that, it's fast. You have to really invest. You will be down for a while. So let's say for sports, for football, you would have to invest in telephoto lenses, sometimes wide angle lenses, prime lenses, essentially, like let's say you're shooting basketball, you may not need the length of lens you may need for football.
But Clyde, hold that thought because Clemson Isaac has made it 2-0. Clemson Isaac has made it 2-0 for the Belfast State Bound Soccer Strikers. And Clyde, I think I might have done you some injustice there because while I'm there interviewing you, I think I made you miss that golden opportunity. I apologize, Clyde John Baptist. I apologize. But,
Nothing, you might just get a chance. You might just get an opportunity soon.
But Clyde, thank you very much for speaking with us. We'll let you get back to your job. But thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Good night, guys.
No problem. No problem. All right. Clemson Isaac making it 2-0 for the Belfast State Mao Soccer Strikers. Just as we were having that word there with Clyde John Baptist play, just getting back on the way. And Mahu doubling their lead. And surely they will fancy their chances now as they look to advance to the quarterfinals of this Presidents Cup.
Well, definitely they are the second place team in the Premier League, so they have to show why they are the second place team in the Premier League.
So 2-0 to the Belfast State Mao Soccer Strikers. You just heard from Clyde John Baptist a few moments ago, Delvin. Very positive young man.
And serious about his job, Gavin, too.
Serious about his profession, I can guarantee you that. And he's invested quite a lot in his equipment. I myself, I'm a sports photographer as well, and I can tell you that the equipment is not cheap, Delvin. And the equipment that Clyde has puts me to shame. Let's put it that way. But definitely, it's good to see that that there are people taking advantage of the other aspects of sports. It's not just on the field or coaching or whatnot, but there are many other aspects
Yes.
or areas for that you can look to do.
And Gavin, we can tell you that the weather hold up very nice at the technical center. Harlem down 2-0 against Mao. Belfast is the Suka Mao, and Mao, as you know, we got one of the key players and maybe the MVP of the tournament. The Mario challenger Gavin is not there for Mao because, as you know, that is on a scholarship. I think somewhere in Germany, Gavin,
Not really a scholarship, but on trials
on trials.
in Germany.
So that's very good for the young man, Gavin, because he had a very outstanding season. I can tell you, he might just be Gavin and not far at all, Gavin. That might be the MVP of the tournament.
Well, the flag looking like it stayed down, but the ball has also gone out. No, it's kept in. Very good from Mao. And Mao again on the attack. Shaping up with a shot. Takes it in. Goes wide. Just wide. Took a deflection. It's going to be a corner kick for the Mao team.
And Gavin Harlem barely surviving there. And the down 2-0. And they could have easily done 3-0, Gavin. In the end, the deflection, they're taking that ball wide.
Well, honestly, Delvin, Mao should have put that game to rest very early in the first half. In comes the corner delivery and straight to the goalkeeper. Harlem looking to see if they can catch Mao on the counter. Long ball forward, but the goalkeeper was quickly off his line. That's Dante Challenger. And that attack quickly breaks down. Poor distribution there from Challenger. And now Harlem now for chance. Looking to see if they can pull one back, but the defending from Maho has been on point all evening. Looking to find the run of Clemson Isaac. The flag is down. The flag is down. Isaac is in. Isaac looking to take past the keeper, dribbling past the keeper, pulled it back. And Isaac made a mess of it in the end. Allowed the two defenders to come back and made life a bit difficult. Good work from the goalkeeper in the end to also make that angle difficult for Clemson Isaac.
Gavin disappointed by Isaac and Son. I think it was a very poor attempt. He could have kicked the ball with his left foot, and as a striker that's scoring goal, Gavin, and then you're looking to make the island side. I don't think tonight there he putting up his name there at all for selection, Gavin, tonight. Very disappointing performance by Isaac so far. Easy goals to put at the back of the nets and really missing them.
Like I said, Delvin, we have to be fair. It's first game maybe since August for Isaac, and I know for sure that the intensity of training might not have been at its best. See that we were more or less in the off season. The Premier League having concluded since in August. Trying to dribble past there. Good, strong defending in the end to go out for a corner kick. Corner for Harlem. But the defending from Mao has been on point, Delvin.
Yes, definitely a good sliding tackle because we had missed Gavin. That could easily be a penalty. So the defender covering up very nicely. And Gavin, Isaac had all the opportunity, Gavin, to put that ball away with his left foot, and he tried to put it on his right. So that is where the striking ability lack, Gavin. The ball is on your left foot, you should have put that ball away with your left foot easily, one-on-one the goalkeeper. He tried to cut back to his right foot to kick the ball, and then he's still kicking out where his left foot in the first case, Gavin, and go out of touch. So really, really poor technique there by Isaac, and he needs to improve on that.
All right, so Harlem making a change. In comes in Shandon Stout, and he's replacing Sharian Charles. So Harlem 2 goals down, looking to see if they can get sort of an equalizer or get. But first of all, they had to get back onto the score sheet and then push for an equalizer. Otherwise, it will be a long trip back down to Newtown and environs, as their run in the Presidents Cup will come to an end after this one game. Oh, that's a lovely ball there. That should be 3. Pulls it in, and it's going to be 3. It is. Maho just dissecting the Harlem team. And, well, this one pretty much over now. It's a 3-0 advantage for the Soca Strikers, and they're well on their way to the quarterfinals.
Well, Gavin, you can see they're well on their way, but Harlem will have to be very careful to look at a 5 there tonight to 6, Gavin, because the way they defending there, Gavin, that to me, that's some disastrous type of defending, Gavin.
And you can see the Harlem players making noise with the coaching staff as well. So Harlem just unraveling here this evening. I've heard some stories for the grapevines, Delvin, about the Harlem team, but I said before I make mention of it on here, I'd want to make sure that I do my homework first and verify the stories that I've been hearing. But it may look like a situation where things may not be all like how you like to say to the DFA, may not be okay in the Harlem camp as they look forward to the next season.
The goalkeeper, for matter of fact, the goalkeeper for Harlem, the substitute goalkeeper, what's his name again, Gavin?
The, the goalkeeper, the starting goalkeeper, you mean?
Yeah, well,
Dante Newton.
Dante Newton. Train if the island side and not playing there tonight. And I don't know why we can encourage this type of things to happen. That you're playing training for the island side, but you're not playing for your team in a crucial match. It just says that something is just not right. It clearly says that something is not right, Gavin. And Harlem does that. The name Harlem have been there for quite a while, just like Kensbro. But those two teams there, Gavin, have been struggling badly.
Well, as to Dante's whereabouts tonight, I'm not too sure. And we will probably have to ask the coach after the game, what's up with Dante Newton. Like you said, he did train on Monday. I'm not too sure if he might have maybe picked up a knock or maybe he might have had some other engagements.
No knock, Gavin. He does decide not to come and play the game.
Well, I wouldn't go as far as saying that, Delvin. My lawyer is very busy right now. And he told me that he doesn't have much time to deal with my matters. So
is he leaving the Harlem team, Gavin?
I have that. Like I said, Delvin, I've heard some rumors, and I want to verify my rumors. Do some homework first before I say what's going on. And like you always say, like you always ask, is everything okay in the DFA? I'm asking the question: is everything okay with the Promex Harlem team? Let's put it that way, and then we'll do our homework. Over the course of the next few days, and we'll let the public know what's going on. But I've heard some rumors. And
saying his rumors, Gavin.
There has to be a rumor because I haven't been able to verify it.
I can verify it for you, Gavin. Feel free for me to verify it yourself. I can verify it for you.
Well, you should not. I'm never afraid, Delvin.
Gavin, that's what I have my major concern about the transfer window. And I think there should never be a two transfer window in a football season. You play 14 for the season. It's amateur football. The professional football, when you play for that team, you should, because that second transfer window, Gavin, is something that the Football Association have to look into quite seriously.
All right, it's 8:30 in Dominican, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Another free kick coming in from the Belfast Estate Mahu Soccer Strikers. That was struck firmly. Goalkeeper had to do quite well to hold on to it. That's the Harlem goalkeeper. And the ball in the midfield. Harlem again, just trying to see if they can get onto the score sheet. They're 3 goals down. So they're going to face a monumental task if they're to get any sort of positive result in this matchup. But it's been a very good performance from the Mahu team. The flag is down again. That touch, however, wasn't the best. But it's put the Harlem defender under trouble. And the defender commits a foul. It's going to be a free kick for Mahu. Free kick for Mahu. And again in a inviting position.
Very close call for offside, Gavin. But in the end, the benefit of it all belongs to the striker. And then the player, he got a booking from Matthew Walsh. Gavin, as you know, that the basketball season is on. And I think the playoffs starting somewhere tomorrow night, Gavin.
No. The playoffs are starting next week.
Oh, next week again, Gavin.
Next week again.
That's a very long break, Gavin.
Long break. 2 weeks. I'm not so sure.
That's an international break, Gavin, in terms of the basketball.
Get back to that in a bit because it's a free kick coming in for the Soccer Strikers. And on the far side is it. Player goes down. No foul, says the referees. Throw in for Harlem. Yes, David, I'm not too sure what's going on with the DABA. We had the regular season coming to an end about 2 weeks ago. 4 teams advancing to the semifinals. We had the Pebble Super Eagles in 4th place, the Happy 767 Dominators in 3rd, the BA Sharks have been quite a revelation this season in 2nd place, and the defending champions, the Detroit Blazers, in 1st. And the playoff lineups would be The Blazers taking on the Eagles, and the Dominators playing the Sharks. And we were expecting the playoffs to have gotten underway last week. But then there was a bit of a delay, and we were expecting the playoffs to get underway this week. But the information that I've gotten is that they will start next week. So I'm not too sure what was the reason for that 2 week delay.
In the old district, I mean, hopefully they're going to do the old district now. So everything is in Massac.
Free kick opportunity for Harlem. And that ball there will just sail over, almost headed towards the prison. But it will be a goal kick for the Soccer Strikers.
So why so much of a long delay, Gavin? Because when you have a momentum in basketball, you continue with your momentum in basketball, Gavin.
Well, that's what I was hoping, and we know if all the excitement, especially with the Division One league finals, we saw the Falcons winning that, and then we saw a very exciting end to the regular season with the Blazers just edging out the Sharks in that final game. Remember, two of them were fighting for first place. I'm not too sure what will be the reasoning for that. I know that the DABA, they're also working on the Women's League. This Women's League is scheduled to get underway very soon. DABA will host a press conference anytime from now to give some more details on that. But as to the reasoning for the delay in the Premier League playoffs, I'm not too sure.
Well, Gavin, we was hoping that, but and Gavin, in terms of that match, so there's no matches going to play in the odd district, neither in the Windsor Park.
Well, Windsor Park will be out of service, Devin. Because remember, we set it up for the Creole Festival.
Definitely.
So you can put an X on Windsor Park.
That's true. That's true.
The out districts, well, the only out district that I can think of that would be Paybush. You do probably have any games in Paybush. That I'm not too sure about. But an attack for Harlem across the face of goal, and again the defense for Mao in the right place at the right time. That's cleared. Throw it for Harlem, but again, good defensive work from the Mao team.
That's true, Gavin. Good defensive work. But as you realize that both the Eagles and the Sharks from that area, so they'll be getting a couple of matches in that area for sure. In the playoffs, Gavin, hopefully.
Well, if both teams advance, let's say to the finals for sure, it will be, quite fitting to have them have a game, in the Paybush area.
They don't have to advance to the finals. They can get a game. They can get a game in the Paybush area, 1 or 2 games, because the playoffs, I think, is best of 5 series.
I'm not too sure. We haven't gotten the exact details from the DABA, but I suspect the semifinals might be best of 3, and the finals best of 5. I'm just having that suspicion. Of course, I want to say good evening to Jerry Williams and Donnie Robinson and the rest of the DABA executive, by Timothy as well, Shaka Dangleben, Yannick Regis, vice president of the DABA, and Women's League set to get underway.
And what did happen?
Well, we, like I said, waiting the official announcement from the DABA, but I've been told that some of the teams are already in training.
Okay, so Gavin, we're ready in October,
Yes.
And then you're talking about the independent time and so on, and Christmas just around the corner, and there's so many other activities and so hopefully you think it will start this year?
Well, we're going to have some lengthy breaks, like you said. And just looking at the calendar, there's another long ball forward. Remember, Harlem, they're pushing forward. Good defensive tackle there in the end from Harlem, but the ball is still active. Oh, bad pass, miscommunication there. I was looking to find Nick Anthony. And we'll go into touch. It'll be a throw-in for the Harlem team. But back to the basketball point, Delvin, with so many activities, like you said. And I'm just looking at the calendar from the 20th of October. Oh, this is a chance for Harlem. The goalkeeper gets down quickly. That's Dante Challenger. And able to come up with the save. But with the calendar of activities, Delvin, from the 20th of October, it's really going to be difficult to have organized sporting activities, because that's the start of the Tea Village Creole and all of the other festive activities associated with the World Creole Music Festival. That will be October 24th to the 26th. Then the following week, we will have sort of the build up to independence. So it's really going to be a real festive season
Yes, and the only thing, Gavin, that really happened at that time, that can be playing at that time, Gavin, is really dominoes and athletics. As you know, the primary school and secondary school athletics
Yes.
competition is on during that independent time. And Gavin, as you know, that the big domino competition is on. The Julius Timothy domino competition, 16 teams are involved in that competition. And I can tell you what a big competition, Gavin, and some very exciting dominoes have been played, and some very close matches have been played, and all during the season we'll be having that for the independent, Gavin. So I want to say hats off to, and I want to say a special good evening to Mr. Timothy, and I just wish him all the best, Gavin.
But you mentioned the dominoes, Delvin. Good thing you brought it up because you have 4 teams still undefeated in that competition. So it's quite exciting after 2 weekends.
Yes, Gavin, 4 teams undefeated, and so he's talking about the Brigade Stars from Peebush, and he's talking about Bad Side from Mao, then you also have the BS Stars from Anzimi, and you have the Tremors team from Granby, and there's opportunity for Isaac Gavin, Isaac, not taking too much chances with Salim Pelti. But apart from that, Gavin, the league have been running pretty nice. And so we're going to have the fourth round this weekend, and then the sixth and the fifth and sixth round next weekend, Gavin. And then we'll take a break for the independence season, Gavin. And then on the 1st of November, we'll start back, the 1st and 2nd of November.
Well, Dylan for the Maho team on the right side was looking to get onto the end of that pass. Clemson Isaac knew that he was offside, so he made no attempt at that ball. But Maho, they're up 3-0 here, and they're still looking for more goals. They've really outplayed the Harlem team tonight. We've not seen much from them. They've been very good defensively. That's the Maho team. And that's gone out off Nick Anthony for, it's going to be a throw-in for Harlem.
And Gavin, as well, continue before we end in terms of the dominoes, Gavin, we have, as I said, the Tremors team from Granby. They're undefeated also. He's talking about guys like Daddy and Reynolds and the rest of the guys, Lenny and the rest of the guys. Then we have the Brigade Stars from Peebush doing pretty well, and Bad Side from Mao also, and BS Stars from Anzimi. But Gavin, very nice combination, and the teams are really enjoying themselves going out there in the Old District. And Gavin, I can tell you tonight, and the way I see things in terms of domino, I don't think there'll be no dominoes in Dominica now in terms of guys playing street dominoes. It have to be signed dominoes, coding dominoes. There's no way that dominoes will come back and guys going to be playing street dominoes. I can tell you that for a fact.
Well, that sounds very interesting. I'm not too sure if the other domino teams might probably agree. But you're saying that we're having some evolution in terms of the style of play, Delvin, based on what's going on outside?
Oh, definitely, Gavin, because you can't be coming and play straight dominoes in Dominica. And when you go on the outside to play in the international tournament, guys scored in Gavin. So it's best to tell the guys that something doesn't play dominoes at all. So that is why that coding league is a very interesting league, and all guys are involved in it now. And because when you pick a team to represent the country, you know you're going to pick a team that can come there and perform in that competition, and not guys there just getting booze and dying long before, Gavin.
A chance there for Maho. The goalkeeper came punching out. Luckily, he was in no man's land. But luckily for him, one of the defenders got a head onto it. But it's still a dangerous opportunity for Maho. Ball's gone out to throw in. Maho just trying to apply some more pressure, get some more goals, get into the habit of scoring goals.
Yes, Gavin. And Gavin, we also have to give the general public the lineup in terms of the cup, the first division cup, the first division, very interested play of the quarterfinals of the first division and the matches. And a 4-1, Gavin.
A 4-1, so Maho making it 4-0. Floodgates opening here at the DFA Technical Center.
And a very sad ending for Promex Harlem United, Gavin. Very sad night for them there tonight. No match at all for the second place team in a big match in a knockout competition done by 4-0, Gavin. Not a good sign for Harlem. And I think that's the end of the Harlem team for their season, Gavin.
Well, I think the post-match interview with the coach, Richard Victorin, might be very interesting, Delvin. The way Harlem have capitulated here at the DFA Technical Center, and I know the likes of Don Leo Girl and Kerrick Solka Emmanuel and all of the Harlem stalwarts, Sheldon Casimir, not too happy with what they're seeing on the field right now.
Well, it's just like the West Indies team, Gavin. When you have these greats that perform well and win championship, and then you see those type of guys that come in and do a whole set of nonsense, Gavin, you must be disappointed, Gavin.
So 4-0 to the Belfast Estate Mao Soccer Strikers in cruise control here at the DFA Technical Center. And Devin, I think we can take a quick commercial break for the benefit of the radio listeners. Of course, Off the Field is being brought to you for the kind compliments of Big Edge Financial Express. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we will be right back.
You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. And this when it comes to your waiting finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. And Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in
Right. So I think we're back on live here at the DFA Technical Center. Of course, a special off the field program. Delvin is taking a little break. Joining us now is Joseph Fadul, aka DJ Halo Boy, but I think he is operating by his government name this evening, Joseph Fadul. And Joseph Fadul, good evening. Welcome to the program.
Good evening, Gavin, and good evening to the listeners and the viewers of Off the Field from the Stock Farm Technical Center. Of course, the President's Knockout Cup happening right now. Of course, teams from the Premier League, Harlem, sixth place Harlem playing against second place Maho Soka Strikers. It's 4-0. And of course, we're getting some. We have some stats at this time.
Before we get to the stats, Joseph Fadul, because the listeners are probably wondering, but how is Joseph Fadul on the sports program? What's the connection here? And of course, you have to let the listeners know that Joseph Fadul has been, over the past few months, been plying his trade, been doing some training, and getting his feet wet, getting some experience as a football commentator, and has been commentating with the DFA, the Dominican Football Association, for the past few months, and has been doing quite a good job, learning on the job as well, doing quite a good job. And Fadul, just before you give us the stats on the game, I just want to know what really got you into this whole football commentating thing. How did you leave, the airwaves of DBS Radio as a DJ, announcer, and find yourself as a commentator?
Well, like Gavin, I didn't leave. I still do my
yes.
shifts, from 4 o'clock drive time. Once held by the late Ted Daly, may he rest in peace. So and I will be very honest with you. I got into it because of the coach of. Okay, just before. Okay, wait.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead with your point.
Yes. I actually got into it because of the coach of the Do It and the Mighty Avengers, Coach Kareem. And he he just saw me once and told me, Sir Fadul, because I'm a teacher at the St. Mary's Academy as well. And he just asked me, Sir, have you ever done football commentary? Because, sir, you did so much for me as a student. You helped me out. You helped me out. And have you ever considered it? I was like, well, no. And he actually got me into it. And then I did a few with him. In fact, I did not start off with the men's. I actually started off with the women's, believe it or not. And Soka Strikers driving into the center there, and nothing to boast of because it was easily cleared. But a quick counter coming through, a sliding one past the defensive line, and they will get the clearance. It's almost back-to-back action there. But yes, Gavin, and I've done a few stints with you. I've learned quite a bit from you as well. Sometimes you just have to let the game transition on its own. It's not too much because luckily with the inclusion of television, which we're kind of doing right now, it's not literally ball by ball, so we kind of fought from a bit to kind of let the viewers see and let them enjoy. But we've seen a far end, a far side striker counter coming through by Harlem, and that was quickly quelled on the far end. And of course, Belfast Estate Mahusoka Strikers just sort of taking a pause, slowing proceedings down tonight. But that's basically how I got into it. You know, like you said, I'm still learning. I learn every day, and I thank everyone, you know, including yourself, Delvin, Kareem, Big Joe, Jordan,
Yes.
Ronnie Gustav, who else have we? Ofa, Alicia's, you know, the
Cornell,
amazing
because
Cornell,
you're
yes,
mentioning
and quite a
players,
few.
you don't want to miss
Yes, I
out
don't want to miss
anybody.
anybody,
You
right?
you brought that on your own self, starting to call names.
You're right. And so yeah, so that's how I basically got into it. And yeah, that's about it. And believe me, it's like something I've kind of been missing out on, because
Mm.
I've gotten a bit deeper into local football,
Football, yes.
and I'm emphasizing on the word local, because when I ask my own students, hey guys, you know, can you name some local teams? They can name every single international team, but they
Yes.
cannot name anybody local. And I'm glad that, you know, I, in my old age, like I can
You're not
put
that
it.
old, stop it.
I believe you. If we tell the listeners and our viewers how old I am, you know, they will be like, "What?" So, and believe it or not, we have our one of, you know, our sports teacher at the St. Mary's Academy, who is viewing with us tonight, Mr.
Ah,
Lewis.
all right.
So he's viewing, he's listening, he always views and listens to DBS. So I mean, so we're here tonight. We are being blessed with a bit of showers from the advanced strains of Jerry, who
We're not quite Jerry yet. It's still the remnants of a
of
tropical
a
wave
tropical wave.
that
All
was
right.
impacting us today. Jerry is going to be tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. And while we're on Tropical Storm Jerry, remember this is the nation station DBS Radio. It's off the field. We're focusing on
But
football.
before we do that, we have an advance which will not be okay. He will keep the ball in play, Gavin. But while you get the bit of information in, gets it into the center, and it's going to be held by the goalkeeper. So,
Right.
Gavin, it's back to you for the weather updates.
Yeah, because like I was saying, it's off the field. It's DBS Radio nonetheless, and you still have to keep an eye on the weather. So just a quick update on the weather. As we know, Dominican's being asked to closely monitor the progress of a tropical storm, Jerry, which we should start to feel the impacts or the outer bands or some sort of indirect impact from tropical storm Jerry from tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening and Friday as well. And the latest coordinates, tropical storm Jerry, 14.9 degrees north, 55.4 degrees west, and that's as of 8 o'clock tonight. And of course, that's about 560 miles to the east south, or that's, yes, east south. Yes, 580 miles east southeast of the northern Leeward Islands.
Well, that's a good advance, but the goalkeeper comes out. Gavin, back to you.
Yes, so maximum sustained winds, they've increased slightly again. It's up to 65 miles an hour. We started off this morning at around 50 miles an hour. Then at around 11 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 2 o'clock, sorry, we got an 11 o'clock, yes, we got an upgrade to 60 miles an hour. And then we've seen another upgrade again up to 65 miles an hour. And of course, they're anticipating that.
Well, that's a good slide through. Shoots it, and he scores. Two.
No, he didn't.
He score.
Hit a goal.
Yes. You're right, but you know, for a second there, so that looks like Jalil Daniel with a shot off. So Gavin, we continue with the update from your end.
Yes, spectators' goals, Fadul, that happens from time to time. You know, it happened to me as well, especially when you're at a far distance, and especially with the lighting that we have here, the technical center is not the best. So, you know, it can happen from time to time. But a spectator's goal. So, back to the weather, yes, we've seen an increase in the wind speed for a tropical storm Jerry, like we're saying, up to 65 miles per hour. And of course, the tropical storm force winds extending out to 175 miles from the center. And the information that we had from the Met Office this afternoon or earlier on today was that the center of the storm was, you know, scheduled or expected to pass at least 180 miles to the north or northeast of Dominica. So we'll just, of course, keep on hoping and praying and observing as well that things are okay for tomorrow. The Met Office, they're expecting increased rainfall tomorrow. I think up to about 4 inches, and we're also anticipating gusty winds at times with the showers, especially in elevated areas, and a possible deterioration in sea conditions as well. And like we heard from the Met Office earlier today, they will issue the necessary warnings or watches when necessary. Back to the football now. As this so went in there. That was a brilliant attempt there. Lovely use of the good placement, I should say, and had the goalkeeper stranded. And luckily for the goalkeeper, went over the crossbar, but good attempt from Mao as they were looking to make it 5.
Well, yes, they were definitely looking to make it 5, and so far, believe it or not, based and this may sound very, very, very strange, but they have just edged out Harlem in terms of possession at a certain point in terms of the stats for possession tonight. They were actually, Harlem was actually the team that had a bit more possession tonight, but based on the last few minutes and how they've been playing, they've actually edged out Harlem in terms of timing and possession tonight. Number of opportunities for them, and they have taken advantage of them. Unfortunately, they've had 7 shots off target, and you can imagine, Gavin, if those 7s had actually been a bit more accurate.
That's the Harlem team.
That's Maho.
Oh, Mao.
That's Maho tonight. In terms of Harlem, they've actually had 5 shots off target tonight. So we have seen the both teams, really putting in the effort tonight. And I think the numbers speak for themselves as Harlem, again, attempting to press through down from the left side, pushing over. The goalkeeper will come out.
Who is brought down? Definitely going to be a penalty.
Yes, Gavin.
Referee Matthew Walls wasted no time, and he's headed to his pocket as well. So he's going to take further action. A yellow card issued to the Harlem player. And he's sent off. That's his second yellow. So Harlem down to 10 men. Coming together and bringing down the Maho player. We'll get the details for you there because our vantage point not the best, but it's going to be an opportunity for
Queen 18, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. The number 15 was the one who got the yellow card earlier on, and it seems as if he is also the one to receive the.
Yeah, so he got his second yellow, Fadul.
Yes,
being sent off. So Harlem down to 10. And we have a situation now where Mahu at the penalty spot, stepping up to make it 5-0. And that will be a resounding win for the Mahu team. They're able to convert. Takes it, and keeper got a touch onto it, but it was struck firmly to his left. And it's 5 now for the Belfast State Mahu Soccer Strikers as they're posing for the pictures with Clyde John Baptist. Confirm the goal scorer in a bit, Joseph Fadul.
Most definitely, and of course, things definitely not looking too good for Harlem at this time. In fact, you're probably wondering, that's actually the number 9, Nick Anthony, and of course, just making
Actually, I think it was number 8 who stepped up.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, so the number 8, who is Keston Anthony.
And he just came in as a substitute
as well. So Keston Anthony, the number 8, on penalty. And with just about 8 more minutes left in the game tonight, it's basically home time for the Harlem team as the very first game, the number 2 in the Premier League tonight, have kept an extremely clean sheet. I don't think Clorox or bleach or any whitening product will get any of the cleanliness further. And we're actually seeing one of the players for Maho being assisted off the field. He was actually carried off.
Yeah, carried off.
Yes.
All
Yes,
right.
Delvin.
So
Yes, Gavin. Sorry.
yes, Joseph. So, thank you for joining us on the broadcast, giving us some stats, and of course, giving us a breakdown as to how you got involved in the commentary. Of course, we're hoping that you will continue, not just in football, but, explore some of the other sports as well. And, like I always say, there's a bright future in sports for people, not just on the field, off the field as well, and in other aspects. Harlem on the attack! And the goalkeeper Dante Challenger got a good hand onto that. Cut the angle down nicely. And now Maho looking to break on the other end. That pass overhit though. And the Maho goalkeeper should come easily to get to it. Delvin, we heard
The
from
Harlem goalkeeper.
yes, Harlem goalkeeper. Sorry. So Delvin, we heard from Joseph Fadul. We heard from Clyde John Baptist as well. Joseph, as you're making your way down, just like you to secure or remind the coaches that they're going to have a quick word with us at the end of the broadcast. We know how they can easily escape and head off the field into the tunnels. But the coaches, we know we have to ensure that we get them to have a quick word with them after the broadcast. All right, so Devin, it's a few minutes to 9. At the end of the game, we will head over to Mervyn Anthony for his program, enlightening program, lovely gospel music. That will come on at the conclusion of this game. But we have Mao still in the mood, still looking for more goals.
And Harlem defending their good sort, Gavin. And only one player for Harlem they defending there, Gavin. It was very tough day for Harlem.
Very, very tough day. I don't think they had that in their plans for tonight.
And Coach Esprit must be enjoying that match. Really destroying Harlem tonight.
Definitely. And Delvin, again, just for the benefit of the listeners and also the viewers on Facebook who probably just tuning in and wondering what exactly is going on. Why is it that they're seeing football, but we're talking about so many other things. Just let the listeners know on radio and also the viewers on the Facebook page and the YouTube page. This is not really a live broadcast
Of a
the
football
of the
commentary.
football match. This is off the field at the football match. So we're focusing on the football at times. We're also talking about other issues, other sporting issues as well at time. And the added bonus is for the YouTube or the viewers on social media who'll have an opportunity to see the game. The listeners, this is just a regular off the field. Those on radio, this is just a regular off the field, and you're being blessed with some updates, I should say, from the football game here at the DFA Technical
Yeah,
Center.
we just apologize to them that they cannot make any calls, Gavin,
Yes.
and so we cannot receive any calls. And so well, you can still text our phone and just tell us that you're listening and viewers and so on, Gavin. You can always call in and so.
A collision there, and it's caught it in the end. The
And that's a
goalkeeper.
beautiful goal they scored by that player there, Gavin.
It's a good goal for Harlem, yes, but there was a bit of a collision between the defender and the goalkeeper, Dante Challenger, and that sort of put Dante Challenger off.
And number 11, they're scoring for Harlem and pulling one back. A consolation goal there for Harlem. Late in the game, number 11.
Yes, so this the clean sheet for the Mao team spoil. Jahil Alexander, it is getting that. Jahil Daniel, sorry, Jahil Daniel.
We'll find it back with the back flick.
Getting that goal for Harlem. So it's 5-1 at the DFA Technical Center. And we can hear the shouts from the Maho coach, Kenneth Esprit, asking his players to manage the game. Yes, you've won the game, but you don't want to, like I say, practice some bad habits. That will be offside. No, well, yes. He's not making an attempt for the ball. And he's put himself under some pressure in the end. What's really going on with the Harlem defenders? Because he had ample time, to sort of get in possession of the ball. Decided that, I'm not too sure, Delvin. What's going on?
Gavin, they were playing an offside trap, but the thing is that he believed that the guy did not run for the ball. For the guy on the far side came out from nowhere and was running for the ball, and he actually stayed there and in the end put himself under pressure, and he could be under tremendous pressure.
All right, so under tremendous pressure, but Harlem will have some work to do in the off season. It's going to be a long off season for the Harlem team because the nature of this competition, Delvin, the Presidents Cup, we're going to have two Presidents Cups. So we have one for the Premier League teams and then one for the Division One teams. And then what we're going to have after is a FA Cup where we will have the top four teams in the President's Premier Cup and the Division One Presidents Cup competing for the FA Cup. And with the way that Harlem have performed tonight, they're not going to be participating in that FA Cup. And it's going to be a long off season for them, like you said. And they will have some work to do, getting back to the drawing board and see if Harlem can, bring back these sort of glory days. Another attack there for the Mahu team. Goalkeeper making a mess of things. In the end, gets the loose ball.
Gavin, a lot of football has been played by the Dominica Football Association. The Football Association really organizes a lot of competition, but we really have to see a really increasing the standard of football in Dominica, Gavin, for the better football. Because there's so many people playing football and so many players playing football, Gavin, but we're not seeing that level that we need to see. And it's time that something needs to be done to see a cable level that we can enjoy. But as you know, it's football, it's local football. So people enjoy the football, they score goals and so on. But when we go out there on the field and so on, we need to see the technical part of football and guys playing good football.
Delvin, I think there's just a few minutes left on this encounter. I think maybe we should start to make our way down the steps to see if we can put ourselves in the best position for the post-match interviews at the end of the game. I want to tell you, be careful going down the steps because very slippery here. But we're at the DFA Technical Center, and it's a comfortable lead. It's been a dominating performance from the Belfast Estate Mao Suka Strikers. They're leading 5-1 here, looking to make it 6 as well. They're not giving up. And I think it's a case of trying to get back into the mood of scoring, trying to sort of, like I said, get back into the mood of scoring and put themselves in a position to for further progress in this competition. So Mao, with this win tonight, will move on to face Valvoline United in the quarterfinals. As we can see, the signal there from the fourth official, Gabriel Caesar, signaling 4 minutes, 4 minutes extra time. So in 4 more minutes for the match to be concluded. Then we'll have some short interviews with the respective coaches, and then we head over to Mervyn Anthony for his program on DBS Radio 88.1 FM. Another shot coming in there. This one goes harmlessly over the crossbar. It should be a goal kick for the Belfast Estate Mao Suka Strikers.
Well, we can clearly see that Harlem tonight will be exiting from the President Cup in the first match, Gavin. And where it was a really disappointing performance, I thought, from the Harlem team. They were bouncing the ball, but really not creating any type of opportunity. And in the end, from bad piece of defending, they cost them that match tonight.
Yeah, we heard the stats from Joseph Fadul earlier on as the flag goes up for offside. And the stats were indicating that Harlem was dominating in possession.
Yes, they have the possession and so on. They were really bouncing the ball around, but really not really penetrating and causing any type of problems to the Mao defense.
All right, so just winding down here into stoppage time here at the DFA Technical Center. Harlem, most that they can probably do now is to try to bring a little bit of respectability to the scoreline. 5-1 is the score, and a chance. Oh, had his gotten his feet together. Maybe he could have gotten away with that one. But Delvin, what a night it's been. Off the field, on the field, here at the DFA Technical Center.
On the field, and as you know,
and that one will go out. And a corner kick for the Mao team. Could be the final one of the evening.
Yeah, for sure, Gavin. Might just be the final one for the evening, Gavin. And Gavin, as usually off the field, was a very interesting program because we were definitely on the field there tonight, Gavin, and we're winning the match. We're talking about other sporting activities and so. And it's very good to see that the turn up tonight there for the first match of the President Cup, that the crowd really showed up. And in the end, Mao will be celebrating and moving on to the quarterfinals.
Mao into the quarterfinals. And a number of other teams will be in action throughout the course of the week and into the weekend. Of course, we will have
And Gavin,
one
I think
eye.
we should give the lineup for the quarterfinals of the first division, Gavin, because tomorrow night for sure there's a match on tomorrow night. Hopefully, the weather permitting.
Well, I don't think the weather will cooperate, Delvin. I can let you know that. I really don't think so. You know, with what I see, Tropical Storm Jerry looks so want to try to do. I don't think so, but let's see if I can quickly get the
We know for sure on
schedule.
Friday. We can tell you on Friday, RC Doctors will come against the South City team for sure on Friday night.
Okay, so quarterfinal, like you said, getting underway on Thursday, and Fonkole FC will be in the first game, and they will be taking on the Do It Center Mighty Avengers.
That's a big match, Gavin. Fonkoli versus the Avengers. That's a good match, Gavin.
That's a very big match, and
Hopefully, if it comes for tomorrow evening.
and like you said, Delvin, two teams with ambitions. But that's the final whistle here at the DFA Technical Center. At the end of the night, it's a 5-1 win for the Belfast Estate Mao Suka Strikers. We're going to see if we can quickly get some interactions from the Mao team, the victorious team. All right, and we've got with us Addison Dennis, vice captain. Let's come this way to see if we can remember we're live on Facebook and social media as well. Addison Dennis of the Belfast Estate Mao Suka Strikers, vice captain of the team, and what a convincing performance that was tonight.
Yes, very well from my team. Appreciate everything. Although we lack in certain areas, but we still come out victorious. So all we have to do now is just work on our soft spots and come back next game stronger.
All right, what are some of the areas that you think you really dominated in this game? What do you think made the difference for you guys tonight?
Well, we get our chances, we took them. Although I find our ball movement was a little slow tonight. We could play the ball faster. Yeah, but other than that, we still start off on a slow foot because no fellas just start back training and enough of us just catching back our fitness. So we just coming back and see how we do for the President Cup.
Yeah, because I was about to ask you that with the Premier League having concluded since August, how impressed are you with this showing, given that, it's been about 2 months there so that you haven't really had competitive football?
Yeah, it was a long break. Yeah, but we still doing our little private work on this side, working for our coach, doing what we have to do. So we just trying to come back in the President Cup harder than it from Premier and see how we get the trophy and come out victorious.
All right, well, all the best. Valvoline We United coming up next for you guys.
Yes, yes. We well prepared for them.
All right, thank you very much, Addison, and all the best.
Yes.
Right, Addison Dennis there of the Belfast Estate Mao Suka Strikers. We have the Harlem coach, Richard Victorin. And let's see if we can quickly get a word from Richard Victorin, the coach of the Harlem team. Jelvin SP joining me as well. Richard, you can come this way, so you'll be in between the two of us. Yes. Richard, well, not the best showing from Harlem tonight, and a 4-goal defeat. Your thoughts on the game?
Well, for one, we wasn't really training for that knockout. We never turned up on the 7 for training. Though I tried to put a team I feel that good enough that could do the job. We stayed in the game long enough during the first half by getting possession of the ball, controlling the game with the ball. We saw still a little pressure from Mao, but we were still there. But end up now one defender come and make a lousy mistake, give them a goal, which still wasn't bad. We still stay in the first half and end this first half good. But second half, second, the same defender come and make another mistake again, 2 goals up. Next 15 minutes, make a change, wrong communication when man supposed to go and defend, man don't drop back early enough, give up a third goal, and that was the end of it. We end up losing the game from the end.
Coach, from the way you're talking, it looks like things are, not on best of terms with Harlem. What are there any issues in the Harlem club?
Well, one issue Harlem have is not training because everybody chose to go and work and make their money. And instead of coming and train, man decide to make overtime to stay and work. While it have man on the same job working, I working with, while I leaving and coming to work on the savannah. They still not make the overtime, so make a force man to make the choices they want to make. And that's the result we want to do. Even when we had the ball in possession, you could have seen we were still cannot get the second ball because of our lack of training. We can't meet up with the ball, lack of energy. And that is not the game today there.
But given the proud history behind the Harlem Club, I mean, over 40 years, over 50 years, possibly, in Dominica's football, how disappointed are you with the turn of events from the Harlem players now that they don't seem to have that sort of pride for the club?
We only see me, disappointed tonight, from the beginning of the season. Because in the day, we never really get a team to come out and train for the whole season. Never get a 11 man premier team training for the whole season. So the results we get for one is lack of training, and sometimes individuals making mistakes. But 90% of our problem this year was lack of training.
I want to ask you that because you mentioned about lack of training, but I think it should be the team maybe that's not talking about lack of training because you have a facility for yourself in Newton Sir, with lights. What is the issue? Because you're working in the day, yes, yeah, but you must have a session where you should be getting guys, 15 guys in the night because you have all your own venue, all your loan train, and all your venue.
You know what I'm telling you? At the end of the day, man decide to go and work and make the overtime. Because I tell you, on the same project I working with, I have man working on the cable car. And while I taking the cat to come down for 4 o'clock to come and train the team, me on the savannah, and it's our workers still make the overtime. So at the end of the day, I tell you, I cannot force nobody to come and train. And still now, the few that coming now don't want to make the effort when they come and train. Because if I say, hey, we gotta make 15 youngs today, everybody start crying, 15. And who making the 15 trying to make it in an hour?
So how do you address that, coach, as you move forward to next season? Because these seem to be some serious concerns. Is it a case where Harlem might have to go into the transfer window or try and get players who are committed to the club? Or how do you address that?
No, well, next year, I have a little space time because I have to think of myself for next year too. Because I can't afford to come out and leave my work, leave money I can be making. Because I work in the cable car, I getting paid when I miss a day. So every day I do go work, I getting paid. While some of them working in certain areas where if they don't work, they can get paid. So next season, me have to ask the club a question. First, if things can change concerning training, I don't mind training and getting them results there. That it can be my fault. I can say, well, tactically, it's the coach problem. But right now, for the whole season Harlem play there, I can't take responsibility for Harlem turnout. Because I never had a team to train. I never had a team tactically to say, hey, we can play like this or we can do this. So, yeah. So next season, if we can get the team to be committed to training, I don't think I'll be able to carry on.
Wow, very strong words there, Coach Victorine. Let's hope that things can get better in the Harlem setup. Well, Coach, thank you very much for the words this evening. All right, Delvin. So that will bring us to the end of the off the field program. During the game, Delvin, we had some concerns. You were saying that maybe some things are not all right in the Harlem camp. We heard it from the coach. Things are definitely not all right, and we're hoping that they can get the act together for next season.
Well, we hope we can get the act together for next season, Gavin, as you said, and I always keep saying that and so on. Is there something wrong with the Football Association camp? We're looking like a trickling down to the club camps now, Gavin. So football, we definitely have to have a post-mortem, a big post-mortem on football in Dominica, that people have to come together and so on to have a very serious. You see like how West Indies having playing. We need to have a serious position. They just had a post-mortem.
Yes.
That is what we need to do for football to have a serious post-mortem. But I want to say, hats off to the football organizing the President Cup, and we're hoping that it can just continue running well. And as you know, the first division quarterfinal starts off tomorrow, hopefully weather permitting.
All right, so that's been another edition of Off the Field. On the field, we are here at the DFA Technical Center to bring you, of course, the Presidents Cup match. It's a 5-1 win for the Belfast Estate Mao Soccer Strikers. Like we said, the Presidents Cup will continue this week and into the weekend. Tune in to DBS Radio and, of course, the DFA Facebook page for more information on that competition. Off the field, being brought to you for the kind compliments of Big Edge Financial Express. We will see you next Wednesday God willing, on behalf of the entire production team, we had Dean Thomas and, of course, Kyle Charles, Joseph Fadul, and also Delvin Esprit, Gavin Richard saying good evening.
You fly the edge over your circumstances. Many a times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances, you've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank. You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trial to face. At least when it comes to your waiting finances, you've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big Edge is the place to go. The cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in the bank.